thanks for me allocating this panel because this is a very high tech and probably would be a sought after panel, and also the participation. So we have all the high profile dignitaries associated with top notch technology that's coming up in the railway system. I mean, Vande Bharat and bullet trains plus the RRTS system. I don't think ever in the history of Indian railway system this two three technology system are sort of really coming together parallelly on its own. Never happened in Indian history. Maybe the when the Rajdhani and the Shatabdis came in, but this is the first time in terms of semi high speed and high speed we see this two three technologies sort of running parallelly. And it's a really it's a pleasure of mine that I have this four dignitaries coming in who are now really involved with the big projects that of semi high speed and high speed projects that we are undertaking out there in the India railway system. My first question would be to Mr. Manvindra Singh. Uh, the RRTS system has sort of really come up. I think this is one of the few network systems, rail network systems, that have really sort of smoothened up, been executed in a way very professionally, and we have seen a sort of very high quality infrastructure that is being set up. I understand that your background is at core telecommunications, signaling. Would you outline in terms of how the RRCS systems it means for the overall the rail sector in the country? Because I'm quite sure in the RRTS system, the best of technologies in terms of signaling, in terms of tracks would have been incorporated. How do you see that spill over to the broader railway network?
Namaskar. To start with the RRTS journey, I will just take 5-6 minutes to comprehend in a very nutshell manner. When we start for developing any technology and in deploying the technology for any railway sector, let us break that journey into from start of the conceptual to the commissioning of that project. As we were in a greenfield project, and this the first semi-high speed project is being launched in India and being successfully running for around 8 odd months for around 35 to 40 kilometers. This is the 160 kmph operational speed network and 180 kmph is a design speed network for this corridor. When we start from conceptualizing any corridor or any network, we start from the let's say where will the lineup or the route will be finalized for the section. And to quote one thing what has happened in last 5-6 years is the Honorable Prime Minister project of that PM Gati Shakti. And through that you can find out that where the utility should be and what should be shifted. And when you integrate with this any GIS based systems, mapping of that survey and then moving out, then you find out that okay, for this type of project, these much of trees should be cutted down or let should be saved in this region, and utility shifting should be in that much of manner. So apart from financial aspect, it also looks into the aspect that whether the utility shifting is according to the time frame or not. So first we introduced GIS-based mapping and course-based system. These are the directly GNSS-based systems where the accuracy of surveying is between 10 to 15 mm. And why I am emphasizing on this topic is that because everyone needs the coordinate of the systems for these technologies to be integrated, because railways is a domain of 8 to 9 sub technologies or subsystems, and everyone needs the coordinates. And when you are coordinating within a 10 to 15 mm, so right at the conceptualization is the design stage itself, you can formulate and complete your software which are needed after 3-4 years, and the error margin is less than 0.001%. Then your whole time of again reiterating the process has gone down to zero. So this was the first step RRTS has taken. GIS based modeling of the projects has never been done on the railway networks. So technology part, this is the first where conceptualization is still being built to that. Then we modeled all our drawings on BIM platform. BIM has got an additional advantage where you have a 3D dimensions of the drawing available. Then you can modulate all your drawings in real time. After 3-4 years, how the station will look like, how the integration with other multimodal system will happen, what are the roads, what are the things, what are the systems. So we have gone into that BIM modeling that even the chip or the card or PCB available or any hardware, that's also being available on the BIM platform. We do not have any paper-based drawing right from initial stage till now commissioning stage. We all work on BIM modeling. Why I am emphasizing? Because whenever you are monitoring a project progress, then BIM has to be integrated with some lidar based technology or something where you have a point cloud of the network or the status or the station building. You integrate with this BIM model. At any stage, you can find out where is a diversion or where is a deviation from the construction practices which need to be done by there. Supposedly, some building has to be tilted by, let's say, 1 mm, 2 mm. At that initial stage of pile foundation, you can find out that this building is being tilted. You right now stop the construction and then redo it again. So, in spite of having 4 5 year construction and then destroying everything, you initially at 1 month and every month stage, you know that what is happening on the system. It gives a leverage that we could have deliver the project 3 4 months earlier than what we were targeted for. So this was the second technology induction. Now I will bring upon to the how the project monitoring is being done. So whenever you have started the project monitoring, we have our own speed as a potential application where each and every activity is being captured digitally on the platform, and then it is being extrapolated in the sense that you know that right now where I am and how I am going to be delayed after 1 month. So if I am not doing course correction right now, it's more likely that after 2 3 months or 4 months I am landing at a place where there is no recourse action possible. Through this methodology and app based technologies, we could find out that we were in time or rather before time on each of the every sub deliverables we could have. Then I just delve into yourself and everyone, the audience, August audience here, that what are the subsystems where we have introduced new technologies. The first subsystem, any system we find out, there's a viaduct and the tunneling. So we have introduced a viaduct based system where we are having a less digital or less footprint on the earth, single pillar fan based systems. We do not have to be a two pillar based system, so the whole of the earth is being occupied by the pillar. We are having a pillar and then moving in the fan based system. That's a civil architecture, and we have uh, confidently get it that IGBC rating, platinum rating for all our buildings and all our structure in the civil domain. This is the RRTS, another achievement in technology front. Now I'm moving towards the traction part. Let's say first we go for traction part. Traction, we are going with this FOCS based system, definitely. But the two technologies we have introduced is 3000 kbf of the pressure between the traction and the uh, pantographs. And this makes sure that at that particular speed of 160 or 200 kmph, the negotiation on the curves is so smooth that there is no flashing on, there is no spark generation. This constant smoothing on the fascias ensures that there is no maintenance required heavily as you such in the all systems or Indian Railways or any other organization is particularly at this juncture using. Now, second part we have used as a short negotiation SNS based systems, where it is ensured that at crossovers, all the technologies related to traction are being first time implemented in India. Now move on to the track. That's the most important part when we deal into the any high speed or semi high speed network. We have pre-built, pre-flex, pre-slab casted system on the track. What is advantage of this track is that whenever the viaduct is being performed or being, let's say, constructed, at the same time you can start constructing the tracks at any certain location, and then when suddenly 100 meter 200 meter viaduct is being completed, just put that slab into that domain and your track is ready. So in parallel you can work out, because right now the technology is that what we were working in serial, viaduct is cleared, then track is going to be laid. Now we are doing at this technology parallel, we are working on both that. Now we shift towards signaling and telecommunication. That's the most technical advanced thing in any of the system which we run on high speed. First time globally, ETCS hybrid level 3. That is only in the books in global, in Europe and everywhere. This we have successfully implemented on LTE, on 4G network, and to the benefit of the audience, as a proud Indian, I can say that within 2 3 months we are going to launch train operation on LTE 5G. That will be the first time happening in globally in anywhere in the world. How this technology was inducted? This is our own design team from India, NCRTC, which has developed this. Hardware, no doubt, is being available from outside the world, but most part hardware is not it. Most part is it how you design the system, the software part. Now move on to this actual system, that okay, how these are things integrated. Then safety assessment. First time also technically we have safety assessment of complete comprehensive system. Otherwise, right now what was happening? Simple subsystems, and that it's not possible for semi-high speed or high speed network. Operational point of view, we have gone for a private partnership first time, and this is can be a role model for anything where project intensive organizations which are high speed or any speed networks, they are less intended towards the operation and maintenance. And India as a company, Netra from NCRTC 100% subsidiary, we are moving towards an organization where we can take care the O&M activity of any organization for the railway domain. Lastly, I will conclude with that AFC and ticketing based system. Whenever you are designing any system on like NCMC or one tap card with that bank integration, cyber security is the first fundamental thing which comes into the picture. Nowhere in the world they have used unidirectional gateway based systems. This is a hardware physical isolation between the zones of the cyber security network, where NCRTC has successfully implemented it, and we have showcased a study that this can be implemented and this should be implemented in any of the network domain. In nutshell, this is the complete journey from conceptualization till end, how the technologies are being inducted in first time in this India, and how it should be inducted when you are designing a system.
I mean, you detailed a range of technology adoption for the RRTS systems. To me, it seems like the best of what you could have out there in the railway network system is what RRTS is made up of.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Right now, even the technology is available at specifications level, nowhere implemented, but we were courageous enough to find out the solution itself, implemented it, just to make sure that in any of the technology domain, not only from the deployment part, but also from the designing part. It will be better to just assume that from Indian point of view, as a make in India point of view, approximately 70 to 80% of the manufacturing is being done in India. Design 100%, software or soft logic, it is being designed 100% in India. So we are in the phase of not only adopting the latest technologies, but also leading the technology in terms of designing or implementing on the concepts itself.
Thank you. I will come to Agrawal sir. RVNL has always played a very key role, as a PSU entity for the Indian Railways. Now you have the responsibility of for the Vande Bharat sleeper train as well. You are doing it in a consortium. What does this mean for RVNL? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time it would be a semi-high-speed project for RVNL.
Before I go to the specific answer, just let me go quickly to RVNL's history for the benefit of those who are not fully aware about it. This RVNL started in the year 2002-2003. The aim was to expedite the modernization and the infrastructure development work over Indian Railways. And in the last around 22 years, RVNL has done exceedingly well in terms of timely completion of projects and the quality of the work it has performed. And coming to my area of work, RVNL so far had completed around 16 projects pertaining to rolling stock maintenance infrastructure in terms of sheds, depots, workshops, so that the rolling stock which was being produced essentially in-house or departmentally by railways could be maintained in good fettle. I would also like to add here that about 2 years back, a decision was taken by Ministry of Railways that RVNL and for that matter other public sector undertakings under Ministry of Railways will not be given work on nomination basis, but they will have to compete among themselves and among other players also and win the works through the bidding process. And I'm happy to state that in the last 2 years, RVNL has done quite a commendable work in terms of getting the works through the bidding process. Now coming to this specific project pertaining to manufacturing of the Vande Bharat train sets, 120 Vande Bharat train sets. RVNL took a decision sometime in the year 2022 that they now have to start expanding their footprint in other areas as well. And rolling stock work was, manufacturing related work was a major area which was gaining traction within the country because of the numerous projects that were coming up, whether it be metro or RRTS or many other such works. So at that point of time, since the core competency of RVNL was on the infrastructure side, the civil engineering side basically, so this joint venture was done with this TMH International of Russia through one of their subsidiaries, namely Metro Wagon Marsh. And finally, based on the bidding done against the tender floated by Ministry of Railways, this work was won by this JV, and based on that, a special purpose vehicle in the name of ETRail Solutions Limited was formed. Mr. Nishunk, who is just sitting next to me, is from that organization, that special purpose vehicle which was created to execute this project, and we are moving very steadily in that direction. Mr. Nishunk, of course, will shed more light on it. Coming specifically to RVNL's role, since this project, of course, we have to start delivering the first prototype from September 25. Then we have to give a second prototype in another 2 months, followed by the regular production of 120 train sets over the next 4-5 years. But the main thrust or the main thing which I would like to point out here is that based on this experience that we are getting now, the partnership that we are having with TMH, so the experience that RVNL is also gaining in this area, we are quite confident that in the coming years, RVNL will foray more and more into this field. As you all know that the Vande Bharat trains being manufactured earlier only by ICF and now by other production units also is getting proliferated rapidly over Indian Railways, and the need for their routine maintenance, that is running maintenance, as well as the heavy maintenance which come through the higher schedules, is also being felt very much by the railways. And already RVNL, while doing couple of its workshop related projects, namely at Jhansi and Sonipat, have been given an additional mandate by Railway Board to develop facilities for Vande Bharat trains maintenance, heavy maintenance also. So that also we are in the process of starting the execution. Apart from that, another 5-6 workshops have been identified for developing these facilities. Similarly, some major coaching related depots are also likely to come up in the next 1 or 2 years. So we are quite confident that RVNL, with our core competency and the additional experience that we are gaining as part of this project, will get involved more and more in this field, and will be able to associate itself and be an integral part of the Vande Bharat complete process in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Agarwal sir. So I will come to Mr. Garg, because Agarwal sir introduced you again. Now, for you are now in the driver's seat. Basically, you will be driving the the project execution and all that stuff. You had a predominant experience in the private sector. What made you take up this projects, being at Kynet, and what overall, given the fact that you have been in the private sector and the experience that you have, how do you think the Vande Bharat project will go forward with that experience that you bring in?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'm so lucky that I'm sharing the stage with my previous project, RRTS, and shifting a chair from here to the Vande Bharat. I'll just tell you, it's a combination of the personal passion and the professional vision. Having accumulated the number of years of experience in the private sector, I still believe that this Vande Bharat project is going to be unique, distinctive in its own nature. It is going to allow me to contribute towards the rolling of the Indian transportation infrastructure. By having a cross-cultural teams and the association with the international partners, we are going to combine the cutting edge of the technology and the expertise in the industry and the leaders. Kynet is emphasizing on the indigenization. We are going to develop in India, we are going to manufacture in India, we are going to maintain in India. This project is going to create many opportunities in the Indian market, not only for the labor, for the manpower. In spite of that, for the vendors as well. And as you rightly said, the ambition and the ambitious lies in this project is coupled with the socio-economic benefit. And the challenge which is going to present is compelling challenge, which is helping me to take this challenge further, and which is I'm eager to undertake. So that's how this project I'm really wanted to take further, and this Vande Bharat is going to be the future of this project and this industry.
A bit of follow up question. The semi high speed project under the Vande Bharat, we are taking on in on. Going forward, the technologies that we adopt here, and like you said, you work with RRTS, and you said RRTS is anywhere between 160 to 180 kilometer per hour. Now, one fine day, I'm assuming as a journalist and somebody who covers the infra sector, that all these technologies that we're developing at the semi-high speed level might as well use them and push forward for our, bullet train or the very high speed, projects that we undertake on our own. Will Vande Bharat become a benchmark for that? Is the base can be set under the Vande Bharat project?
I'll tell you, Vande Bharat is a different kind of a rolling stock altogether, which we are moving from chair car to the sleeper car version. The other project was intercity metro, I would say. So yes, the experience in this Vande Bharat project, which is given to the sleeper trains, is going to change the paradigm of the railways. This project is going to be different than the other metro systems what we are. I'll just share you very simple example. The moment we travel into the trains and the metros, we share a very small experience with few minutes, maybe maximum an hour. But the moment you travel into the trains like Rajdhani, the Vande Bharat, we travel the journey. We share the journey with our relatives, with our parents, with our friends, with our colleagues. So it's a kind of a journey which is going to be evaluated in coming years. And the kind of a baton which government has taken to revive this industry by adopting the sleeper trains of the Vande Bharat is going to be definitely a right shift, which is give you a right passenger effect, which we are going to see in coming years.
Thank you so much. I would come to Gopal sir, if you could say. Bhel also had the opportunity to go for the manufacturing of Vande Bharat. You are also now an equal participant. What does it mean for Bhel and the sort of targets, the capabilities that Bhel is looking for it?
All of you know, BHEL has been in the power sector for quite some time, and there is a name for BHEL in that sector. And railway transportation system also, BHEL has been participating for quite long. They have been supplying the electricals, primarily the traction system for them. Now, power sector, renewable is taking over the prime stage, and the thermal power gradually is coming down. And of course, recently there has been some more demand, but they have to expand. So BHEL also, when they had experience in the transportation sector, they thought of migrating to this rolling stock manufacturing. Also, many of you may know that they are already manufacturing and supplied a large number of locomotives to Indian Railways. Now, for train manufacturing and locomotive manufacturing, both are the different subjects altogether. So, they had a joint consortium partner with the Titagarh, who was earlier working with the manufacturing of the wagons. Now, they have already started manufacturing the coaching stock. They have supplied the rolling stock for the metro, Pune metro, and now working for the Bangalore metro. They have also set up a unit in overseas for taking over one unit where they'll start looking into the other business also. So BHEL joining with them as now working as a consortium partner are very confident to come up with the product and the new product, that is the Vande Bharat Sleeper Express, within the target time. Morning session, if you have heard that Mr. Sudhanshu Mani was talking about the predictive maintenance, that Indian Railway is a long way to go, but this project is going to address the predictive maintenance in a big way. We had a discussion with the asset management. There was one presentation. We had a detailed discussion thereafter with them also. The maintenance management information system is going to be developed, where all the information from TCMS will come there. It will be connected through GPRS to our control center. All the real-time alerts will come to our control center. Control center will be working round the clock. There is going to be a PR team, prompt response team, escorting with the train in case of any problem. They'll be guiding them and responding to it. These are the new concepts coming. And there was also a discussion in the morning session about the condition monitoring system. Condition monitoring so far has been missing. Only when I was in railways, we saw in Tejas Express and one or two more trains, railway has just experimented with the condition monitoring, but they're also in a limited way, primarily for monitoring the AC temperature, tripping of the motors and other things. Now, under this contract, the condition monitoring related to safety have also been built up. The bearing health, there will be a sensors in the bearing, which is the most critical safety item for a rolling stock. That will be, sensors will be there, alert, and an online real-time information will be there. There are going to be suspension. There is a springs and there is a air bellows suspension, a pneumatic suspension. Sir. If they are deflated or broken, their sensors are there, and there also the feedback is there. There also the real-time sensors will come. Hunting and the derailment. If there are the parameters which will be monitored, and they will be real-time monitored and given to it. These are some of the new things which are likely to come in this, given safety, improving the safety of this, and preventing any unusual incident. For fire detection, let me tell you, in the electrical panels, it is not only the fire detection, there is a fire suppression system, aerosol-based fire suppression system, which will go in each and every electrical panel. You will understand that, all of you will agree that many times the fire starts from the electrical panels if there is some defect or some loose connection or some problem is there. So that is we are going to have. And for fire detection, currently the Indian Railways have a aspiration based system. That is for each cabin they will suck the air, and if there is any smoke, it will go to the end of the coach in a panel where it will detect and do it. World over, people are already migrated to point-based system, as you have seen in commercial establishment, in houses and buildings and etc. So in this contract, Vande Bharat, we are going for a point-based system, which is the latest fire detection system. All our components in this are going to be HL3 compliant. That is the highest degree of fire-resistant category in inside as well as outside all the equipment. So these are some of the things. There are many more things. Some of the major things I have shared with you. So that's how we are going to have a product. And you had asked about target. Yes, we have tell you that a large number of items have been sourced from the industry. Industry has responded very well. Majority of the items are already, a large number of items are already be ordered. Others are in the process of finalization. And we are confident to get all the items in time and deliver the first prototype as per the target. That is our target or our goal, that we don't fail on that target.
And that is also nice to know, because the most senior executive from Equirus did mention, the spillover effect of the railway capex is going on to the private sector. So that's good to know. So I will come back to Mr. Manvinder Singh. You touched upon all the technological aspects when you outlined RRTS systems. I wanted to know, because you also touched upon BIM. The way I look at it as a journalist, one of the reasons that Delhi made it RRTS and surrounding areas was taken up, because there's a lot of density of population. So obviously, when you bring in a transport network like this, density and the population really plays a major role in terms of the sustenance of that financial sustenance of the transport network. When you incorporate technologies such as BIM, and these are obviously high-end technologies, I'm also believe that a certain cost is also associated with it. Your experience with incorporating the BIM technology, And can this technology be sort of utilized now going forward across all the projects, whether it is rail or other projects that we do, infra related, or it is only something when we see it's a financial viability is possible?
Okay, it's a good question. Is fact financial viability, but let me be very clear that the adoption of technology is always leveraged in the term of financial things. Whatever you are doing right now with whatever human power, manpower you are doing, technology is integrating in such a way that this is being reducing the overhead burden of having anything which you call it as a manpower or the man days or translated it to the financial terms. Looking into specifically into the BIM model, BIM is nothing but it's a software based system. It is not very highly technologically, let's say financially intensive. The reason is that the intent should be clear that it is to be applied from right from the conceptual stage. If you are going on a paper based system, and in any case you are producing designs also, you are producing the 3 dimension design, you are producing 2 dimension drawing, and everybody is carrying that paper of the bulk of the paper, and then you are translating at the initial stage itself that okay, no, I will not go on the paper based drawing, I will directly go on BIM is a building information modeling system. Just all your designs are being transported in the 3 dimension on the digital platform. The real advantage of the BIM comes into the fact that when you are using it with some sort of a sensing, not as a manual intervention, because BIM is producing you a 3 dimensional drawing, and supposedly this building is there and you have designed that this column should have this much width or this light should be there at this particular juncture, and a human is being asked to monitor that whether the construction is of right quality or right direction or not. Then you must introduce BIM with certain technology like lidar based system. This is the advanced technology right now being available. And then when you have a cloud of these points available on any of the infrastructure, then you map it to the BIM, and the difference between BIM model and that actual site is being compared through any machine learning algorithm, and then the design or the alert are being sent. So integrating all these things, it's not only applicable for just a Delhi Meerut corridor or for any greenfield corridor, it's is directly applicable to anything, everything, anything you want to construct right from beginning or as a brownfield product. Just give you an example, two zones of Indian Railways, they I will not name, but two zones of Indian Railway, they are is the discussion of utilizing the BIM and the knowledge experience Indian Railways has, RRTH has shared with it. Two metros are also using it. We are piloting from for them as a consultancy product, and application of this lidar-based technology. Last month, Municipal Corporation of Delhi is also in the discussion to apply these type of technologies in any of the small or larger construction for them. So it's completely financially viable, and in any project organization, this should be the target right from initial stage itself. And financial terms, I will just conclude that approximately 20 to 25% of project monitoring cost we have saved by utilizing this BIM platform right from conceptualization stage.
The reason also I asked about BIM because we India is a powerhouse of IT technology. The railways for the first time now seeing that prowess sort of getting incorporated. Otherwise, let's say even right up to the 90s and 2000s, our own ITs were not incorporated into the railways the way we're doing now.
Just I will take one point forward. SRS said that predictive and corrective maintenance, how the India is progressing on that front. In isolation, you cannot move ahead like productive and corrective maintenance. You design any system unless until you have a 3 dimensional model of that building or asset is available. Then you move towards a digital twin. There you do not have any manual reading of the maintenance system. There you provide a sensor based system. Integrate these three concepts: sensor based sensing, then BIM modeling, then digital twin, and then apply an algorithm over there, learn the machine, and then find out what is the decision, what are the management decisions should be taken from the maintenance or the procurement perspective. So complete chain, then only it is possible for to be integrated as a predictive or corrective based maintenance.
Thank you. Coming back to Agarwal sir, uh, your responsibility also lies, looking after the overall depots, the infrastructure associated with RVNL. Now that, Vande Bharat is your responsibility, or let's say another asset, I would say under RVNL, the infrastructure of these depots and other, facilities which will house this Vande Bharat, this is something now technologically we are trying to improve Vande Bharat, the rakes and the rolling stock system. What about the infrastructure that is associated when the Vande Bharat comes back and has to sort of go for maintenance? If you could give an outline, the build up and the infrastructure step up that is happening on that front.
See, in this particular project of Vande Bharat, which RVNL is executing along with its JV partners, the complete scope incorporates both the manufacturing as well as maintenance of the trains over its entire life cycle, that is for a 35-year period. Of course, 35 years is a very, very long period, and nobody can foresee as to how the technology will evolve or what will be the contours of the technology so many years down the line. But yes, based on the current situations and the current technologies, I can say that uh, we are basically developing 3 depots for this project. One at Delhi, one at Jodhpur, and one at Bangalore. And along with our Russian JV partners, the maintenance philosophy that is being broadly followed is one that will allow a very high availability of the trains for operational purposes. This has been mandated in the contract agreement also, so we are working in that direction. Now, this complete maintenance philosophy will be twofold. Twofold in the sense that the entire gamut of activities have been split into 2 parts. One, of course, is that at the component and at the sub-assembly level, we will take the help of the OEMs who will be supplying these items to the company for the manufacture of these trains. And certain items, of course, will be looked after, attended, and taken care of in the depot. So at the depot level, all items pertaining to the wheels, for example, will be dealt at the depot level. So for that purpose, we are planning to procure CNC machines for the various activities, whether it is axle turning, whether it is disc turning, then pressing of the wheel sets into one unit. And also we will be having a very high productivity tandem wheel lathe, which can turn the wheel sets in situ without the need of taking out the wheel sets. Railways have been utilizing such type of wheel lathes earlier also, but for the train sets it will be done for the first time. Similarly, we have a concept of gradually introducing the Industry 4.0 activities, so that the data collection, the analysis of the data, and the corrective actions that are required can all be done on a very automated level. So overall, the idea is to have a modern and a very depot having all such facilities, so that the turnaround time of the rakes that are touching these depots, as of now, just for the information of the persons available here, that it is programmed that the trains will only touch the depot once in a month, and they will keep on running, crisscrossing the country the entire time in between. And we will have an onboard system of data collection also, based on all the faults that will get generated in the systems. There will be a TCMS on board, and also that will be connected to the base depots. So the data transfer will happen continuously, and based on that, once the rake arrives and gets maintained in the depot, based on the data collected in between the 2 visits, and as per the scheduled activities, we can attend all the required components, and we will have a very robust system of unit exchange assemblies available there, so that At the sub-assembly level, we take out the defective assembly or the assembly which needs an overhaul and replace it with a ready overhauled assembly. So with that kind of a background, we expect to maintain the high degree of availability and good quality of service.
Thank you so much. Coming to you, Mr. Garg, you touched upon the passenger experience. Now, in my opinion, that the sleeper train is the ultimate passenger experience that an Indian goes through in his life. I mean, it's always special if you are with your family or a group of people. Uh, if you could, outline for the Vande Bharat, the sleeper version, uh, how will it be a step up from the existing sleeper, train version that we have? Let's say, you take Rajdhani, the comfort level, let's say the quality of the build and everything. Now, if you could outline if, those things have been sort of finalized and worked upon.
Okay. It is going to enhance the comfort and the convenience, as you rightly said. Passengers are going to have the ergonomically designed sleeping berths. We will have the improved cabin insulation, which will help to have the reduced noise level. We will have the climatic control mechanism, regardless the outside weather conditions, whatever we have. You must have seen the tech-savvy travelers, those who keep on traveling into the trains with their work and all. But they have frequent disruptions into their connectivity while working over the laptops and all. We are going to provide the technology called Wi-Fi into the trains, which is going to help them to have the continuous working culture in the trains itself. In combination of the eco-friendly technologies and having the energy efficient system, it reflects the comment and the approach towards the sustainability. Regenerative braking system is going to help us to have the reduction in the energy consumption. Its exterior and the interiors are something which is going to be modern aesthetics, which is going to be different. We will have the spacious interiors, the aesthetic pleasing lightings, as well as the modern thought of design is going to give you a premium feel of travel experience.
If you could disclose, when can we expect the first set of this, sleeper trains come out? Is there a target we have set up for that?
Somewhere around in 25, which is roughly around third quarter or initials of fourth quarter. That is what the target is currently.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Gopal sir, coming to you. Now, in your career, you have been responsible for projects, especially projects where there are exports, looking after export markets. Now, I hope I'm not speaking too soon, but your take on the export potential of the Vande Bharat trains.
Yeah, while working on deputation with rights, I've looked after the export of trains. And not only trains were exported, there were the turnkey projects, mostly in African countries, Southeast Asian countries and Middle East countries. And that European countries or developed countries, we were never exporting anything because we were not technological so much advanced at that stage. Our regular trains were exported because in those countries, even those trains were not available. And if they go for the developed or European countries, they would have been very, very expensive for them. So we could not only supply the trains, we set up the infrastructure depot maintenance over there, and run the trains and also maintain those trains with the handholding for some time, and also train their people. Now that is the time whatever technology we had, we could do that. Now, as I explained earlier that we are manufacturing and as a consortium, we will be coming up with the prototype trains as per target. We are also going to set up the maintenance facilities. We will also get the experience of maintenance of those trains. It will take some time. And we are sure, unless we have established the credibility and gained some experience, nobody is going to buy this idea from a person who will be doing it for the first time in India. And since we are going to, as my partner also said, we are going to make almost all the things in India. And industry has come up very well. Either BHL himself is making all the things or taking from the market. Titagarh also, our partner, is also taking most of the things from the market. Since we will be manufacturing and developing everything in India, so once we have run the trains, maintain it, and we have developed adequate credentials, we'll have absolutely no problem in exporting and going to other countries. We can see from, that is what I see, my dream could be our dreams, that from 5 years now onward, we should be in a position to see our trains running in developed and European countries. Also, if the things go the way the progress is made in this project. And I must, for the sake of repetition's sake, we are very happy that the RBNL has also said so, and that that the consortium is also going as per target, and we ourselves also going as a target, and we should be in a position to turn out these trains as per the targets and deliver it to railways. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gopal sir. I mean, this panel has been such an insightful panel. And if I could just point out, I think I'm just realizing now that on the, on my right side, or in both, I mean, both my right side, the extreme right, so we have two young, energetic executives, and closer to my right, we have, two veterans who have literally, their career has gone into the railway sector, and who would know better about the railway history, the experience, how it's evolved than them. So it's in such a balanced, panel. It's really fortunate to have that. Thank you for, engaging in this conversation. We still have time left, so I will open up the panel for, Q&A from the audience.
I myself had the privilege of associating with NCRTC, so I think, as a consultant, as a veteran from the industry, I think kudos to what they've done, and we Indians feel proud of it. And hope Vande Bharat will also give us the same feeling of pride once it delivers. But I just have a common thought that, we have been talking of, we've been talking of predictive and, condition-based monitoring and predictive maintenance for so long. But I think not just, it doesn't need to be integrated or, systematic at one location. I think it has to become an industry-wide phenomena for India to be able to benefit from the collective data that you collect from the same OEMs across, or, from similar environmental conditions of how US kind of claims to have their own remote monitoring centers. I would like to ask the panel that, how do we actually get to that point where India has its own, condition-based data around these assets to be able to take the condition-based monitoring to a really sustainable level, because there's still a little hesitance, to move away from the OEM scheduled aspects, because we still don't have that confidence to move away. So any thoughts from you, sir, or from...
Anyone specific, ma'am, and from the panel?
So I would like to know how would they kind of consider the fact that this remote monitoring or condition-based maintenance can actually become an industry-specific or industry-wide phenomena, and how can they instill the benefit or instill the confidence in the users to move away from OEM-based scheduled maintenance to a predictive maintenance, because there's still hesitance, when you go to authorities, be it metros or railways.
Okay. So Gopal sir will answer your question.
I will answer it like this. I mentioned earlier, we have no option to be hesitant in this case. It is a part of our contract. We have to go for the MMIS, Maintenance Monitoring Infrastructure System, and it is also written, it has to be linked with RAMPs. The RAMPs, that reliability, availability, maintainability, and safety, that aspect, we have already started working on it, and from the very first prototype train which will come up and go in service, we'll have this system in place. There is no option, so there is no reluctance, no hesitation. We are already taking all the industry on board. We have already started discussions with the industry, shared with them our input, the formats where we want their inputs, how it will be integrated with the MMIS. And as I explained, our TCMS data will go to this MMIS, then it is directly linked to the our control center from where the data will be available and it will be really utilized. As my colleague told that the trains will come back to the maintenance depot after 30 days. You have to give a very, very high reliability. Then availability is 95%, and the maintenance fees, if you know, is just 3.25% for the normal maintenance, and including their POH and mid-life rehabilitation, overall 35 years, average maintenance is just 4%. From my experience of 36 years working in railways, I can tell you it will be a very, very big challenge if we can sustain that maintenance with the targeted availability and reliability within the maintenance fees of 4%. Very, very big challenge for both the consortium to do this job. So, no choice available that we can ignore this aspect of condition monitoring. We have to have a predictive maintenance and not do maintenance just at a periodic level just because it has been specified there. And the condition monitoring will have one more advantage. It will avoid any online failures. It will give us alert in advance and we'll be in a position to take necessary action in advance. So we are going to have it. So maybe railways may also adopt after we have done it because we are doing it only for railways.
Thank you so much. We will now formally close this panel. Really appreciate the audience and definitely the panel members out here. Thank you so much.